and welcome again to Karen's Kitchen Easy. Together, with our kitchen basics, tips, and tricks, we're going to make you the star of your kitchen. If you enjoy this video, be sure to check out my YouTube channel. And check out the link below this video. It will take you to karenskitcheneasy.com where you can find a printable version of today's recipe. And remember, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But wait, it is easy, and you can do it too. Today's lesson is Dream Lime Pie. Dream Lime Pie is another one of those easy recipes. It's going to be a great hit at your next outdoor gathering. As you can see, once again, we just have 3 ingredients. And that's right, 3 ingredients. The first ingredient is a half a can of frozen limeade that's been thawed. So we're talking about 6 ounces of frozen limeade thawed. To that, we're going to add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, and then 1 12-ounce package of a frozen whipped topping that also has been thawed. We want to work with all thawed ingredients here because it's going to make it much easier to combine. So we're going to start with our first 2 ingredients. We're going to put the limeade into a bowl. And to that, we're going to add our can of sweetened condensed milk. And when we do that, something really amazing happens. A little chemical reaction. The limeade combined with the sweetened condensed milk is going to start to thicken. So we're going to just stir this together, and you can do this with a whisk. I'm being lazy and just using my spatula here. But as we stir the 2 ingredients together, you're going to see that it starts getting thicker and thicker. I'm not sure what causes this, but these 2 ingredients together make a wonderful combination. Now it's very rich and very sweet, which is why we're going to add our 3rd ingredient to it. But we're just going to keep stirring this until it's very homogeneous and all incorporated. Now this is the point at which, if you'd like to, you could add a little bit of food coloring, because I know it is lime, and when people think of lime, they think of green. But I just like that very pale color that it's coming to right now, because it goes with everything, and we can put other colors with it if we like, and that's not going to hurt anything. So we just about have it all stirred together here, and as you can see, it is getting thicker. It's almost like a thin pudding right now. We're going to then add this to our whipped topping, and we're going to teach you a kitchen basic here called folding. And folding is where you add a mixture to something that is whipped to keep it from collapsing, because something that is whipped has a lot of air in it. So we're going to take our whipped topping, and we're going to very gently pour our sweetened condensed milk and limeade mixture over top of it. And when we're done with that, we're going to take our spatula and run it around the edge of the bowl. And then we're going to bring the spatula toward the center, and that's called a fold. So we're going to do that again, very gently, and fold it toward the center. Scrape and turn, and scrape and turn. And it kind of just looks like a lumpy mess right now, but you're going to see as we keep doing this process over and over again, it's going to start getting smoother, and it's not going to collapse. It's going to keep that light fluffiness of the whipped topping. Now you can try doing this with actual whipped cream. I have not tried it that way. Whipped cream is a bit more delicate than frozen whipped topping, and you might not be quite as successful in the folding aspect of it, but it's worth a try. It will give you definitely a different flavor. But we're just scraping and turning, scraping and turning, and we're going to keep doing that until we can't see any more little white lumps. And that those white lumps are of course, the whipped topping, and that's going to tell us that we have everything as incorporated as we can. Now this is called Dream Lime Pie, and one of the ways we can serve this wonderful dessert is in a pie shell. And you don't have to bake a pie shell. This is completely a non-bake dessert. But you can go to the grocery store, and in the baking aisle with the flour and the sugar and all of that is a product called a graham cracker crust pie shell. They're already pre-made. You simply open it up and you pour this in. And as you can see, we're just about finished here. We're going to check to make sure that we don't have any lumps of white in the center, but I believe we're just about finished here. So we're going to put this in the refrigerator for about half an hour so that it cools down a little bit and solidifies a little bit, and it's going to be prettier for us to work with. So at this point, however, if you want to do the pie, you could go ahead and pour it into the pie shell and then put it in your freezer for an hour or two so it does firm up and it makes nice cuts then when you serve it. But I'm going to show you some other ways to serve it also. So I'm going to put this in the refrigerator for about a half an hour to 45 minutes, so just so that it starts to firm up. So I'll see you back here in about half an hour. So here we are, half an hour later, and as I promised, here are a few other ways that you can serve this delightful dessert. One of the ways is using a pretty stemmed glass, and we're just going to scoop some of our dessert, and it doesn't take a lot because this is a very rich concoction. So we're just going to scoop some of it into our pretty stemmed glass, and I'm going to take a little spoon here and just kind of smooth it out and make the top pretty. Now I'm actually going to decorate this with a maraschino cherry, and maraschino cherries and lime just seem to go together well. So there we have a lovely dessert here, and if you like, you can put some little cookies around the base, and that makes a lovely dessert too. Now if you're working with maraschino cherries, I have a little hint for you. Rinse them off before you put them on your dessert, because that way they won't drip all over everything. But here's another way we can serve this. I have some little pre-made tart shells, and once again, you can get these in the grocery store. They're in the frozen dessert section, and they're just made of phyllo dough or phyllo dough, depending on how you like to pronounce it. So we're just going to scoop a little bit of this into our prepared shell, and this goes great on a buffet or as a pass around because it's just a bite or two, and it's a wonderful little bon mot, as they say, or a little happy point. And we're just going to scoop this in. And we're also going to top this with a little maraschino cherry. I've taken some maraschino cherries and cut them into fourths, once again after rinsing them first to make sure we don't get any little drips of cherry juice on our pretty pale green topping. And as you can see, a little of this goes a long way. So you can have a lot of little dessert shells or tart shells that you can fill with this dessert. And here are my little cherry pieces, my quarters of cherries, and I'm going to just press one into the center of each one, and that gives it a little bit of color. So we'll just press this into the center, and there we have our cherry and lime combination, which is so very popular, and it gives it a little burst of color there too. You can also do little sugar sprinkles on top. There are a lot of things you can do. Again, think fruit themed, if you will. So there we have it. Dream lime pie, dream lime tarts, dream lime desserts. 3 wonderful ways to end your summer meal. Just remember, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But wait, it is easy, and you can do it too. So I'll see you next time on Karen's Kitchen Easy.